Welcome to Law School After Dark. Some things that I think is important for you. Most people started law school right after undergrad. I didn't, and here's why. Welcome to Law School After Dark, where we're studying cases after work and hoping that we remembered to eat. This is the story of why I went to law school in my 30s. I was the traditional student right out of high school. I went to college. I did take a victory lap. It took me 5 years to graduate because I changed my major a few times. I was a nursing major, mass comm major, public relations. So it took me 5 years to graduate. I then went on to grad school, got my master's of science in college student personnel, and started working full time at universities. I still work full time at a university. I work in academic affairs and I really like my job. Life was fine. I enjoyed my job. I have good friends. I have wonderful pets. Like, there was nothing that was bad about my life. I enjoyed it, but I was bored. My job is the same every day. I sit at a desk, I meet with students, I meet with faculty. That's what I do all day, every day. I was bored. I worked in positions before that were not your normal 9 to 5 jobs. They were, you know, 9 to 5, but then you had on call responsibilities. So you were still working after hours and you had things that you had to do. You'd get a phone call at 2 a.m. and you were expected to be there. I loved it. And at that time of my life, it was exactly what I wanted and what I needed. But I just got tired of it. So I found this other job that is 8 to 4:30. That's my job. At 4:30, I clock out, I come home and do what? I was bored. I was tired of not having anything to do after work. So I started thinking, what could I do? I could have gotten another part time job. I thought about taking up like different hobbies, and I tried a lot of hobbies. I tried photography. I tried drawing. I've tried writing. I did a lot of after work hobbies to try to cure the boredom that I had, but I ended up choosing law school. I go to law school part time. I'm in the evening program. Law school wasn't a new idea, but it also wasn't something that had always been on my bucket list. Growing up, I wanted to be a figure skating doctor lawyer. Not one or the other. I wanted to be all three because as a child, I thought I could do it all. I think it's important to note that sitting here today, I'm not a figure skater, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a lawyer. It was always kind of there, but it wasn't something that I really just had to do or wanted to do. I just kind of woke up one day and I saw that the LSAT was happening in January. And so I registered in November, 2 months before I was scheduled to take it. I studied a little bit. I took 2 practice exams. That's all I did. I then took the LSAT in January and waited for my score. Got my score back. I went ahead and I applied for the part-time program. I knew that it was going to be the part-time program. I wasn't interested in going full-time or anything like that. I had a lot of fears about going back to school at 33. One of the biggest reasons why I chose to go part-time is because of finances. I needed to keep my job. I need to be able to support myself. And I really like my job. And so the full time program was never an option for me. But some of those fears were, how was I going to pay for law school still? I didn't want to take out student loans. I also had to think about my dog. He has to be able to go to the bathroom. And I have cats too, but they can self sustain themselves. They go to the bathroom in a box. I didn't have to worry about them like I had to worry about my dog. I also needed to think about things like, how am I going to handle all of my everyday tasks like cooking and cleaning and taking the trash out because it's just me. I also had fears of, was I smart enough to go to law school? Because you always hear that law school, one, law school is hard, and then two, that it's super smart people and it's super competitive and all of those things. So, was I even cut out for law school? The full-time program didn't seem like it would be the right fit for me because I'm not a competitive, I'm not a super competitive person. I don't want to be in school all day long, studying all night long, and then waking up the next day and doing that again for 3 years. That just wasn't something that interested me. With the part time program at my institution, you can take a maximum of 12 hours a semester. It takes you 4 years to graduate. If you're thinking about doing a part time program, or if you're thinking about going back to law school or going back to school in general in your 30s or your 40s or your 50s, some things that I think that you should know is, one, it's not too late. I think if you're thinking about it and you have the financial means to do it and you have the support system, just do it. Like, why would you not choose to better yourself or grow your education and expand your knowledge? It doesn't make sense. If you're thinking about it and you have the means to do it, just do it. It's not too late. You're not behind. I think that's really important to know because I went in also thinking that it was going to be a lot of 24-year-olds, 23-year-olds straight out of undergrad, even in the part time program. And in the part time program, we do have a couple of those. We also have some late 20s, we have early 30s, we have students in their 40s that have families and careers, and we are all still there. So none of us are behind because we're all in the same place at the same time. We all chose to come back to school together. No one's behind. You can do this in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. You can do this. My first day of law school, I was terrified. In undergrad and even in grad school, we had syllabus days where we just talked about the rules and we went over the assignments that we were going to have. That's not law school. The first day of class, you are expected to have already read anywhere from 20 to 40 pages, most likely, and they're jumping right into material within the first couple of minutes in every single one of my classes. There was no, here's how we're just going to kind of wet our feet. It was diving head first into law school. And that's terrifying, especially as someone in their 30s who hasn't been in a classroom since 2015. That's when I graduated with my master's. This was almost 10 years. It is 10 years later now. My classes weren't like in the movies. We didn't have cold calls on the first day. They did take volunteers, but we were expected to have read, and they still asked questions, and we were expected to know the answers. Also hard because for me, reading cases is something that I've never done before. It was not, it was all new. It was basically like learning a new language, and that was really hard. But I got up every day and I did it. And I'm so proud of myself for continuing to go back every day. I'm not going to lie to you. There have been a lot of moments when I've questioned the decision to go back to school and to go to law school specifically. Days when I get cold called and I don't know the answer, or when I get my grades back and I did worse than I expected. There are times that I'm so stressed that I'm crying and I'm angry and all of those things, but I know at the end of the day, it's going to be okay. And this isn't the end of the world. I have a really great support system. I have friends that aren't in law school that support me every day. And then I've made friends in law school that support me every day. The friends that I've made in law school have made the experience so much more. They've helped me stay grounded. They've helped me understand. They've helped me study. They've helped me stay. I would have quit the first year if it weren't for the friends that I made, because this was hard. And I went in thinking, oh, this is just because I'm bored. I did not go in with goals. I didn't go in really honestly thinking that I was going to succeed. I am now 2 years in. I am halfway to graduation. I am a 2.5 L. I'm a 3L, but our institution has 4 Ls. I've taken half of the second year law courses. I will take the other half this coming semester. So I'm halfway done. The end is just around the corner. And I think that I'm still going to question my decision. I'm still going to wonder if this is the right thing, especially on days when it's really hard and the readings are never ending. But I think that for me, it was the right choice. And you're going to know if it's the right choice for you as well. This path to law school might look different than most people, but that doesn't make it any less valid. And that's why I chose to go to law school in my 30s. School starts back at the end of August. So I'm going to have a weekly vlog that tells you about my experience as a part-time law student in their 30s who works full-time. I hope that you'll keep coming back. If there's certain topics that you are interested in, that you want me to do a vlog about, please comment below. I'll try to fit that into a vlog if I don't already have it planned out. Other than that, I'll see you next week for more Law School After Dark, where it's the same struggle, but a different topic.